What is going on, Chaotix? It is your boy Chaos May 006 here, and today we're going to be looking at how to build a team in Team Builder. Ignore the pop-up on my screen. We're going to see how to build a team in Team Builder, looking at matches. So I'm going to go back to week 1 of the FPL Season 2, where we fought the North Carolina Napoleons and Trainer Allen. So you look at your team, you have to look at his team, your opponent's team, see how they match up. So Top Cook, you should know your team pretty well at this point. I know basically what each mon brings to the table, what works well for the team. Now look at his team. Mega Sebalai going to be sitting there getting rid of my Hazard, so maybe Hazard's not a good thing to bring. Maybe Status Conditions aren't a great thing to bring this week. Chansey's going to be really bulky, so maybe I want a knockoff user to get rid of the Eviolite. Zoroark's going to be there doing illusions and things like that. Maybe he doesn't bring it this week, I don't know. Salamence could be a very viable option, very powerful Pokemon. Donphan, not really great, but does have some access to some priority moves. Ninetales is going to set up Sun. Sharpedo, very fast and very powerful, physical side, and does have rough skin ability if I want to worry about the fighting, like hitting with a fighting type move, like Hawlucha or something. Hitmonlee, probably not going to come, as we have a lot of ways to deal with it, as you can see with, I have Flying type here, I've got Psychic, I've got 2 Psychic types at that point in the game because I had Uxie instead of Incineroar at that point. And I also have Tornadus sitting here as well, getting ready to kill it, so that's probably not going to come. Serena also probably not going to come for most of the same reasons with the Flying type, and we do have some nice power there. Gyarados could be a really cool option to bring here, but you gotta worry about electric type moves from Coco. Medicham, very powerful and also can take a lot of hits, so that's probably gonna come. And then Gramble, maybe not so much, but it could also show itself in this week because fairy typing does pretty decent against my team. So I'm gonna go back to my team builder for week number 1. This is the team that I actually brought, and I'll go back through and explain a little bit more in depth why I chose this team and why this team works. So let's take a look at Coco. We're seeing Thunder Roost, Dazzling Gleam, U-Turn, Life Orb to get a little bit more power behind its damage because Life Orb, if you do not know, Holder's attacks do 1.3 times damage and it loses 1/10 of its HP every turn. So I do have Roost to cover for that Life Orb. That's why that move is there. Also, I didn't see a use for it. You have U-Turn to switch out really fast. As you can see, I took a negative attacking nature and a timid nature, boosting the speed so I can get the switches in and out really fast, as well as, but not do as much damage with U-Turn, which is okay. Didn't really think I needed a lot of damage off of it. Just want to get a switch out real fast and not just to take free damage. And then Dazzling Gleam, good for a fairy type move because you see a lot of Pokemon could come on this team with that weakness. And then Thunder because we are running Ring with Sweet Frog later on. So seeing Thunder Roost, Dazzling Gleam, U-Turn, and the stats of Tapu Koko, we're going to outspeed most of his team. Not much is fast enough unless he scarfed it, so that could be something. Now if we look I like to look at each Pokemon, see how they do, see what I need to cover later on. So Mega Sableye, maybe we don't have the best thing here for it. I mean, my Dazzling Gleam is probably going to be the best to it. It's probably not going to do too much. Chansey is there. Probably don't want to fight it with Tapu Koko. I mean, we can't hit a lot with Ring Boosted Thunder, but not the best option. Maybe a knockoff user later on would be great to have. Zoroark, going to go down to Dazzling Gleam, so I'm not worried about that. Salamence takes a Dazzling Gleam or a Discharge. Either one works pretty well. Donphan really stalls out my Discharge, but I do have Dazzling Gleam. It really can't hit me too well. It's got Earthquake, it can come in, so I'll probably U-turn out of that. Ninetales, not too much is going to be done to me, but I don't really have a great shot against it, so U-turn's probably my best option there. Sharpedo, I can Thunder to death, so I'm not too worried about that, and we should outspeed unless it's Scarf. Hitmonlee, Fairy type move, takes it out, not too worried there. Serena, it's not a great option, but I can U-turn out and get a good bit of damage off of it on the switch out. Gyarados, Thunder just one-shots it, so I don't even have to worry about it. Medicham could be a problem, and I believe was a problem in this match. I could use my Fairy type move here, but I think Medicham could take me out with a lot of different stuff. And then Granbull, we're not doing much to it, so it's not the best play in the world. If you go back, the next mon I chose was Voxel Cloud, giving me a nice flying typing. Here, Flying Z and Defiant Nature. Not Defiant ability, not nature. So I can get attack boost, even though that's not really going to help me out. I don't think I run one mix Tornadus this season, so that was kind of a waste of that ability, but I could have done Prankster and I didn't. Focus Blast on it, Sludge Bomb, Hurricane, and Defog. So knowing that, and max speed, I wanted to get some nice power and nice speed this week against Trainer Allen, so I did a lot of speed and a lot of power. That was a lot of my set, so that was a lot of fun. It also cost me a lot of problems later on in the match. Looking at his team, Sableye, again, really hard to prep for, and I didn't have anything really great against it. Chansey, we do have Focus Blast to hit it really hard. Zoroark, Focus Blast will take that out too. Salamence, not too much on that Tornadus to take on Salamence. I do have Z Hurricane if I want to. I think if Salamence had some chip damage, I think I did bring rocks this week. So if Salamence gets some rocks, it's going to go down. Donphan, we are pretty much immune to everything it's going to hit us with. So we're pretty good there. Ninetales, not the best matchup, but we can take it out pretty well. Sharpedo, we do have the speed issue there. But if we look at what we brought, we don't have a whole lot to hit it with besides Focus Blast. We gotta worry about missing a Focus Blast. So that's an option there too. Hitmonlee's gonna go down to Hurricane, not worried there. Serina's going down to Hurricane, not worried there. Gyarados, not really the best mon here, but I don't think they bring it with Koko. So that was a lot of the play not bringing Gyarados because I had Koko. Koko was probably coming. So Koko is a nice cover there. And then Medicham, Hurricane's going to do a lot of damage to it, especially Z Hurricane. I think the reason I brought Z Hurricane this week, in week 1, was because Medicham lived a regular Hurricane, and also it gave me power to hit some other things that did not take a lot of damage from a lot of stuff. So Hurricane comes in, it finishes up there, and then I got Z Hurricane, Granbull can hit, Hurricane can cause confusion too. So that's something there to look at. I do have that Flying MZ option as well. I do have Defog on this thing because, as you can see, you don't really want to take Stealth Rocks with Fox McCloud and Doomsday, so getting rid of those Stealth Rocks is really nice. And also lowers accuracy, so that's great. I decided to bring Rain this week. One of the really good things about bringing Rain is because this Politoed is speed creeped to the point where Ninetales will be faster than it. So if I set him up, if I send him in at the same turn, Politoed has a Damp Rock to cancel out the Ninetales' Solar Beams that are coming in, making Solar Beam a Toon turn attack, and gives me the ability to keep that Ninetales in the field while scalding it to death. So this was a really cool play with Politoed. That was my guaranteed kill with Politoed. I also gave it just enough special attack that the Scald could kill in Rain, just enough to, and really made it defensive as best I could to take some hits from where I needed it. And then you look at the moves, Scald, Ice Beam, Rest, Sleep Talk. I wanted to Rest and Sleep Talk just so I could keep Politoed around a little bit more, give it a little bit more viability here with how it goes. The Politoed was a really good option for Sableye actually, just because it could cause burn on it. With Scald, it also was a pretty nice tank to take some hits. Chansey's the same way, it can cause burn on it and whittle it down, and also take some hits as well. Not really great for Zoroark, but not really bad against it either, so that's okay. Salamence, it's got Ice Beam 4 times super effective on Salamence, which is really great to have. Donphan doesn't want to fight it because of both water and ice on it, so Scald could take that out easy. Ninetales, again, big priority here was to get Ninetales locked into Solar Beam on a free switch in from Politoed, get that Rain up so Solar Beam takes 2 turns, and then fire off a Scald to get rid of the Ninetales. Torpedo, we really go toe-to-toe, not really great for us. We probably lose that fight because Poison Jab or Crunch, so not the best option there. Hitmonlee, we can Scald it. Serena, we can Scald it, Ice Beam it, Scald it to get a burn, and Ice Beam to take it out. Gyarados, we got Ice Beam for it, but really we don't want to fight a Gyarados because it's got some great moves on us. We actually can fight Medicham pretty well. I made it physically defensive just so we could take on the Medicham, which proved out to be very vital in this game. So that defense was really great to have, and then Granbull obviously not doing much. So as you can see, we don't have a lot of stuff. I don't expect Donphan to come at this point. I don't really expect Granbull. I don't expect Gyarados, Serena, and Hitmonlee. So really what I'm looking at for his team to come this week is Chansey, Zoroark, Salamence, Ninetales, and Medicham. So 5 Pokemon. And then what do you throw on the final slot? Do you throw Serena in? Do you throw Sharpedo in? take some shots. You bring the Gramble. I think you brought the Gramble that week. So, we have that there. So Sweet Frog puts in all the work. Looking at what I had left, Doomsday comes in really nice. I do have the knockoff here. And Black Sludge, she gets some HP back. I figured it would be a lot better. I do have Toxic Spikes to wear down his team. Defensive walls, but Chansey can get worn down by Toxic Spikes. And I had it at the point where I think max attack gives me, if I set up a Sword Stance, I can knock off and almost take out the Chansey. It goes down to rocks, I think. So Sword Stance, so I'm setting up here and also setting up spikes. So I come in, set up some spikes, get Toxic going on. I can switch out for Doomsday not to take some big damage there. Let something else take the damage, probably like Sweet Frog take the damage, or my Mega Aggron to take the damage. And I can come back in, and once all your worries are gone, I can set up Sword Stance and sweep with this thing. So that was a huge plan here. I really wanted to use this against the Medicham because it was neutral to fighting type attacks because Poison resists fighting and Dark is weak to it. But also it stopped the Zen Headbutts coming out, which is really nice for Doomsday. And honestly, the really only thing I'm worried about here is ground type attacks, but I do not think Donphan is coming, so I think Doomsday had a really good matchup that week. If you look at his team, Sableye, we can use dark type moves to take on Sableye pretty nicely. Knockoff also works really well because you're going to expect Sableye to have maybe like leftovers or something like that. Chansey, get rid of Eviolite with knockoff. It's a big play right there. Zoroark, not really sure what's going to go with that, so didn't really care to plan against that. Salamence, knockoff would be nice to get, but you're probably going to die to anything. It's probably carrying some nice moves to take you out with, so not the best thing. Again, this thing, really worried about Donphan, but I don't expect it to come, so I didn't really plan for it. Ninetales, we're not facing the best matchup against Ninetales, so didn't really want to keep it in. Against Sharpedo, not really well. Hitmonlee, it does decently, but not the best. Serena, it can work really well with poison typing. It really came from Medicham and Chansey to get rid of those items and to make Medicham really weak. To give me an option to not let it use stab moves to take me out. Next I brought Peach, and this week I brought Choice Scarf. It wasn't faster. It was not faster than his fastest Mon at max speed, so I Choice Scarfed it to make it outspeed everything, which was a really good bring this week. It gave me that power. I also brought Dry Skin here as the ability to get HP back from the rain, which is another reason why Jinx works really well with the rain team and also worked really well with my team this season. I had Ice Beam for some stab, Psychic for stab, Focus Blast to hit some dark types, and Hidden Power Electric. So I run a full attacking set this week just because I could. So if you're looking at let's take a look at the ice. What's coming in against Ice Beam? Salamence takes it out. Donphan takes out with Ice Beam. Really looking at Serena with Ice Beam as well. Gyarados can take it, so not really the best thing. That's why we have Psychic in there too. Gets a nice power off. It's gonna do good against Medicham. It'll do good against Hitmonlee. Things that, and anything else that really doesn't want to take Focus Blast or Hidden Power Electric. So Focus Blast will come in and do really good work against Zoroark, against Sharpedo, against. That's really it. Because I expected Sharpedo to be set up sweeping type Sharpedo, so if that came, I was ready for a setup Mon, and I had a way to get rid of it by outspeed. And then Hidden Power Electric's really there for that Gyarados if it's one-on-one with Gyarados, and a few other Pokemon Gyarados, I'll probably just Hidden Power Electric and fire it off. And that's actually a really fun way to run Jinx with Choice Scarf and Choice Specs, just to get it some nice power. As you can see, I'm running max special attack to cover for the speed, weakness, taking all the speed for the Choice Scarf, so I gave it max special attack, which 361 gives it a lot of power to take out most things with one shot, and that's really what you want with this Pokemon, because if it doesn't one-shot something, it's probably going to die, especially to a fire type with Dry Skin. That's not the best thing to do. I also gave it max HP because I went a little bit of tanky bulk just in case it didn't live, and I expected the special attacker to be the one to live, something specially defensive. They have great special attack as well, so that would be my main counter against this thing. Finally, I brought my Mega Aggron here. It does have the filter ability once it Mega Evolves. I just gave it Sturdy so it can live a hit. That's what I usually did every week. And as you can see here, Heavy Slam, nice power hit, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock, Aqua Tail. So this team actually does not like water too well. That's a lot of the reason why Aggron works pretty well. You look at his team, Mega Sableye, not going to want a Heavy Slam because it's really Glide, as well as Ramble, who's weak to Steel typing, and also not as heavy as Aggron. So Heavy Slam really works well on heavy Steel types because it makes it so you can't take a lot of shots. Filter is a really great ability, which gives me the ability to throw this thing in against the Ninetales and to take the fire shots that it's going to pour out, and I can just hit it with an Aqua Tail, so that was the strategy there. And Aqua Tail also just really wrecks Donphan too. So that was, I think that was the final move that I just needed something else to bring it in with and not really worry about. So Aqua Tail was, yeah, in the final slot. This thing really came in Stealth Rock user to take out some of the threats coming in, like it gives enough damage on Gyarados that can go down to anything really. So that gave me an option not to have to use Hidden Power Electric if I got Rocks up. It also puts in some work against that Ninetales, which also look kind of sketchy. Gives me a little bit of chip damage on everything else, making them just easier to get killed. And I think a lot of that was for me just to take care of some of the Pokemon that I just barely lived. Like it was like 95% power to take out. It was 95% of its HP that went, so if I got the Stealth Rocks up, it took out the other 5% and really didn't have to worry about it. And so that's really what the team looked like. I had a lot of swaps in and out here. Looking at my team, some things that could have came, definitely could have brought a Psychic type like Cresselia or Uxie to come in this week. Cresselia probably would have done a really great job. It was one of the mons I was really struggling with. Do I bring it, do I not bring it? Hawlucha could put in some work too with the Coco. Didn't really like the set though. I thought a lot of weaknesses to Hawlucha. There was some good. He has some nice moves coming in. He's got that Salamence I was worried about. He had Gyarados, which I was worried about, especially in Rain of Hurricane. Not really wanting to see that happen. So Hawlucha didn't have a lot of usage here, and part of my Hawlucha set was High Jump Kick, which would not do anything against Sabon. So didn't really want that. It was an option for Chansey. I did have it in for Chansey at one point, but I decided against it. So that was the team I brought. If you want to, let's check out this match really quick here. And let's go. So this is the match. We're seeing his team. He comes in and Salamence there, pretty scary. Gramble, I didn't really expect. Serena comes in too. Ninetales, Chansey, and Medicham. So I'm using this just to build the team. I'm not gonna really go game play by play. As you can see, you gotta work on things to take care of stuff. I'm gonna reset it. Do music. I can't do no music. Let's just play it. We come in, Electric Surge gets there, then Intimidate. As you can see, I'm just gonna get out of that match. It gives me a chance to get out of the match and switch out. This game is really heavy on switches and predicting stuff. So, getting some new predictions, getting some Pokemon in here to take some shots. I did not expect the Salamence Earthquake, which is something you really gotta expect. Which put me in a lot of problems here. You can see the Stealth Rocks he got up are really causing damage here. And really the only way I got rid of that Medicham was to get that Z-move on, which really gave me that power that I needed to get rid of. And I just let things go down. Things were going pretty well. You gotta figure out exactly what they're bringing, which is the fun part. And see, Seismic Toss is not doing much, giving Aggron a good matchup against Chansey. I do think we lost that. No, we actually won that encounter because Aggron just has the bolt to do it. And I didn't think it was worth letting Aggron just come in here. But the real bad thing was he is sashed here. That's the big problem. So Solar Beam, I live a Solar Beam. That's why Sweet Frog works really well. You can live the moves that cause problems for your team, and you just have to set up, build strategies against it. One of the big things here was the speed creep, trying to make sure I could outspeed it. And let me just I don't want that up. So let's go to, let me just pull up a really quick showdown calculator. So I have showdown as one of my picked up. So there's a damage calculator down here in the links. So one of the things that you saw that I used is a Politoed. The Rain Setter is good for the doubles. That's what they usually use for. But Ninetales, what's the other one? And it usually runs the Wall Breaker, Nasty Plot Wall Breaker set. So looking at it, you get Solar Beam coming in at 59. It's going to be Rain because we're slower. But you look at the difference here. It does 50%, around 50% in Sun. In Rain, it does about 27%. And you see that Scald at 92 with the Stealth Rock. We set up for a guaranteed kill. We set up for a guaranteed OHKO. It's still pretty close. It's got a 56% chance to OHKO. Not the best thing there. We set up just slow enough. I mean, even with the speed, we didn't do anything for Ninetales because it's probably running speed. Even with no speed on Ninetales, it's running 259. If we're running max speed here, we're not even getting it. So running that speed was really worthless at this point. As you can see from me going back to this, you can see I run a lot of defense and HP just so I can make sure we live good hits and we can take the shot. So really doing this and setting up your Pokemon in a way that you can actually speed creep things works really well. One of the things here is Jinx. So you can set it up really cool. You can set up really fun stuff. So let's do the typical Choice Guard set. You see Ninetales here. Let's put Ninetales at max. Ninetales at max speed is 238. We at max speed are 217, which does not work for us at all. Because you can see Fire Blast is going to come out and take us out. We have Rain Up. It's still going to come out and do a nice chunk of damage to us. But it does give us the ability to two-shot this thing if I need to. And that's the big thing here. We have enough speed that we can two-shot this and take it out. Which is the really nice issue here. And I think what I did is I ran a special, I ran a special attack, an attack of minus nature, some modest nature, I believe. That gives me a guaranteed two-shot. Gives me a guaranteed two-shot, which is what I really need for Ninetales, because it can two-shot me with Fire Blast, even after Dry Skin Recovery and Rain. So that you gotta really play the speed creep. You gotta play the game creep to know what's gonna come in, what's gonna be the best counter for your Pokemon, and what takes it out. And you guys want to check out how I built teams on the other games, feel free to go to the channel, look at any of my matches. I have team builders for those. Most people who do Draft League battles have a team builder as well, so feel free to go check them out and see how they built their teams for situations like this. And usually I write out what's good and what's not good, so if I know a Pokemon's going to come in and take me out, I don't want to use it against it. And what I'll do is I'll go in here, I'll run through every single Pokemon that I think will happen. See, knock off, I don't want to play against Sableye. So I just type in every Pokemon that the other guy has, and I just look at what it could have, what it comes in on, what moves, like Focus Blast even easily kills here. Ice Beam might be a better option though, because I can hit something else. But with Stealth, especially with Stealth Rocks, game almost guaranteed OHKO. So just depending on what your opponent has, you gotta use I like using the damage calculator just to understand what could possibly come out from the other team and how much damage we're going to be doing as a team, and with the moves I think that should kill, just to give me that idea of what's going to come in and what's not going to work too well. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys want to see more content from this series, make sure you do subscribe. Also leave a like if you did enjoy this video. And as always guys, if you want to see more about team building and stuff, you can go check out some of the videos, the team building videos from Season 1 and Season 2, because I did team building for every single week, I believe. If you have any questions about how to build a team or anything like that, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. I will be glad to get back to you and help you out in any way I possibly can. But for now, that's all I have for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm ChaosMade006, signing off. Burn it up.